what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
Welcome to Higher Ed Pulse, your Monday morning energizer covering insights and trends in higher ed marketing and enrollment. I'm Mallory Wilsey, bringing over 15 years of EdTech and marketing expertise to your earbuds.
And I'm Seth Odell, joining the Pulse with my own adventures from leading marketing at top universities to founding Kanahoma, one of the industry's fastest growing digital marketing agencies.
Each week, we bring you the kind of insider insights you typically only find over cocktails with your pals at a conference.
It's fast, it's fun, and it's designed for you, the busy higher ed professional.
You're not just listening to another podcast.
You're checking the pulse of higher education.
Higher Ed Pulse is part of the Enrollify Network, a robust collection of podcasts designed to help higher ed professionals like you grow. Explore our other shows at enrollify.org. Enrollify is made possible by Element 451, the next generation AI student engagement platform, helping institutions create meaningful and personalized interactions with students. Learn more at element451.com. Welcome back to The Pulse. We are here live at the ASU GSV Air Show, and I am so excited to have sitting across from me someone who has been wandering these floors for the last day, talking about AI. Auryan, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Nice to meet with you, Mallory.
Tell our listeners who you are and what your role is at EdPlus.
I am Auryan Ratliff. I am the Director of Creative and Emerging Technology at EdPlus at Arizona State University. I manage our AI product team that is building services, AI products, meeting with AI vendors, and helping with the overall AI strategy for Arizona State University and more specifically ASU Online.
So right before we hit record, you were telling me about this incredible new degree tool that is student-facing and powered by generative AI. Talk to me.
So yes, the tool is called the Degree Recommendation Engine. It's actually not student-facing yet. Some students have seen it, but it is not publicly available. But it is a tool that students can use where they answer a short quiz about themselves. What are your interests? Where are you in your educational journey? What sorts of aspects do you want about your job? Do you want creative freedom? Do you want to work from home? You give us all that information, and we're actually able to use that data to pair you to an ASU degree. But not only are we matching you to an ASU degree, leveraging the ability of generative AI, we can also take all that same information that you provided and all the information we have on those degrees we matched you with to generate a personalized explanation for why this degree is a good match for you. So you said, hey, I want X and Y in my life. We can go, well, this degree will do that for you. Here's how it provides X, and here's how it'll get you to Y in a way that you really couldn't get this sort of experience without another human who really understood you and really understood all of ASU's degrees and the nuances of them. So a really rare experience that's hard to provide, and now we can do it at scale for all students.
How incredible. Is this going to be primarily rolled out for your current student population, or is there an opportunity to utilize this to generate interest in ASU with prospective students too?
I think this is mainly going to be used to generate interest in ASU from prospective students. Honestly, this was all informed by behavior we saw on our ASU Online website with students looking to apply. We see students coming to the website. They're engaged. They're excited about the opportunity to come to ASU. They go to all of our degrees. They don't use any of the filters on the page. They sort them by alphabetical order, and they just start scrolling. And I think that's fine, but the issue that we're running into is ASU has over 800 degree offerings for students. And we love the amount of degrees. We love the diversity of these degrees. However, that can create some choice paralysis in the students coming to the website. And so we saw the data, we saw this pain point, and we thought to ourselves, how do we solve this? And with the advent of generative AI and how we're able to leverage that technology, we saw a unique opportunity to address this concern. And so with some early discovery and a few proof of concepts, we ended up landing on what is now the degree recognition engine, which can streamline that process for students. So now you don't need to know every single degree at the university. You don't need to scroll down all 800 offerings. You can tell us a little bit about yourself, and we can show you what we think might be a good fit for you.
That's incredible. So what are some of the questions that you're asking students to help them determine that right fit program?
We ask a few different questions. So we ask really basic traditional higher ed questions of, where are you in your educational journey? Are you a high school student? Are you at another college and you're trying to transfer? Are you a lifelong learner who's been out of the educational system for a long time to kind of understand, one, not only how we should match you to a degree, but two, how we should speak to you in your explanation. That matters so much. So we'll figure out where you're at. Two, we'll figure out how you want to learn. Do you want to be online? Do you want to go on ground? Or are you not sure? We'll help you make that decision. So we make sure to gather that information. We also ask you high level what your interests are. Are you looking for engineering, technology, humanities and arts, to kind of get a more broad idea of the type of degree you're looking for? And then after we ask those interest areas, we actually have sub-interest areas off of each of those topics so we can understand a little bit more what you like about it. So, hey, you said you like engineering. Is that mechanical engineering? Is that biomedical engineering? Is that software engineering? And so we can dive even deeper into those interest areas. After that, we move into more qualitative aspects of the student. So we have things like, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do in your personal time? Do you like film and television? Do you like reading and writing? Do you like being outdoors? Are you a pet lover? It's surprising, but these things actually make a huge difference in terms of the output. We also ask students questions like, what are the aspects you want in your career afterwards? Things like, I want to work with my hands. I want creative freedom. I want to make social impact. I think that's my favorite question in the entire experience, because we find students don't know what they don't know. And so when you ask them what degree they want, they go, I don't know what half these things mean. You ask a student what career they want after they graduate, they're not sure. You ask a student what degree they want, they're not sure. They don't understand all these terms. However, you can ask a student, hey, do you want to work with your hands? Do you want to be creative? Do you want to travel the world for work? And they'll go, yeah, I want that. They know those aspects of what they want their future to look like, but they don't necessarily understand the steps to get there. And so we'll ask them those sorts of questions. And then all of that gets put together to make those degree paths.
I love the lifestyle focus here, because you might have a student who has only been exposed to a handful of careers. Maybe they've grown up in a rural area and they think their future is, well, I can be, a teacher, a doctor, or, this other thing. Right? They might not even know all these other careers even exist. And then you start asking them these lifestyle questions, and that can help them make smarter decisions that are actually aligned to how they want to live their life. I love that you mentioned that social impact question. That is brilliant. So this is clearly quite comprehensive. Thinking about if I am a student and I'm landing on ASU's website, you mentioned there's many, many programs to scroll through. I might be inclined to click on the ones that start with an A, B, or C because it's at the top of the list. I'm curious to hear about the data that informed some of the decisions that you made. Were you indeed seeing that there was preference given to the programs that happened to be higher up in the alphabet, for example? What were the things, the metrics, the data, the insights that led you and the team to developing this degree finder in the ways that you chose to?
Yeah, I think it was a few things. I will say there was no bias towards the degrees that had A, B's, and C's in front of them because more students were seeing them. We find that students who apply are applying for what they're interested in. So eventually the student will find their degree. What we were seeing is we see engaged students come to the website and drop off because they aren't finding that degree that clicks with them. So when we see our heat map on our degree page, you see it. It's red, red, red. We have a bunch of students scrolling, and then you get to the B, C area, and then that red quickly turns into blue, then quickly turns into nothing because no students are scrolling that far down. So I don't think there's a matter of, again, bias or preference to the higher ranked degrees or the higher ranked from an alphabetical standpoint degrees, but more so students just not finding what they're looking for and then just kind of giving up because it was too difficult to do that.
How are you planning to serve this tool to students? Like, how are they going to get access to it when you roll it out?
So I think that's something we're still doing discovery on, but one way we know for sure we'll deliver to students is on that degree page on ASU Online and potentially on the ASU website as well. So when you go to look for a degree at the very top, it says not sure, we can help. And you click a link and you're in the experience, you're answering the questions, and you're getting a degree recommendation right in that same page where you would be looking through that list of degrees. So it's right in line with how students are already exploring the ASU Online website.
When do you plan to roll this out?
We're hoping to do an A/B test on the ASU Online website in the next 2 to 3 months, where we'll get real feedback from students to help inform the future of the tool. We've done a lot of user testing internally with ASU students as well with students around the world. So we know they enjoy the product. We see that they enjoy the tool. They enjoy the output. So now it's time to put it on the website and make sure we can kind of validate this from a technical standpoint and from a cost standpoint. You know, these models and the use of these generative AI tools aren't free. So making sure that we can deploy it, it's stable, students like the outcome, and it makes sense for us from an ROI standpoint.
Well, consider this an open invitation to come back on the Pulse when you have data after you've rolled this out, because I know Pulse listeners, they work in marketing communications, admissions, enrollment. They're going to listen to this episode and say, I want something like that too, right? And so I can't wait to hear about the outcomes data and how it actually helps your prospective students get to that degree faster. And even a step further, and I know we're probably somewhat, years away from knowing this, but will it actually help those students persist and complete their degree on the other side? Listeners know that I have been referencing data that Inside Higher Ed has reported on around degree completion, and that the running stat is only about 60% of students who start a degree really complete it. And I have to wonder if it's because they wind up in programs that actually do not match the intended lifestyle or career or whatever it is. And how would a recommendation engine like you have built assist students in finding that degree that better fit faster so they actually complete the degree?
So I think there's two elements to it. First piece is the degree pairing part that you mentioned. Maybe students just aren't in the degree that's the right fit for them. They find struggles in that journey, and through that struggles, they end up dropping out or removing themselves from the higher ed ecosystem for one reason or another. And so hopefully, this tool, yes, can get them into the right degree for them and generally make their lives easier in that realm. But I think there's another element to this as well, where right now this is a degree recommendation engine, but at a larger scale, we see this as a foundation for learner agency and personalized content across the entire higher ed ecosystem. The same thing that we're doing here, asking you a few questions to personalize your experience, there's no reason for that to stop at degrees. This is something that can be applied to financial aid, another huge blocker for students. The financial aid process is very, very complicated. It's different if you're out of state, it's different if you're international, it's different if you're military, it's different if you're coming from a corporate partner. And we have a one-size-fits-all approach on our websites because that's what we have to do. But imagine a world where you tell us a little bit about yourself and we tell you just what you need so you get your answers when you need them in a personalized way. And this goes beyond financial aid. This is your courses. These are the support services and mechanisms we have around the university that students don't even know exist. These are just general clubs. We can just help personalize your journey and make your higher ed experience more tailored to you without you having to put in the work to do that. We can just do it automatically. And so I think between all of those mechanisms, we absolutely hope to improve student success and make sure students get to graduation with whatever choices they make in that journey.
One of the things that I am most excited about in regards to artificial intelligence and higher education is the ability to serve students the right information in the right place at the right time. I think that is the revolution that is going to have an impact on us all. As we wrap up this conversation, it was such a pleasure. I know you've got a lot on your plate at the Air Show, and you have been so generous with your time. Where can our listeners find you?
I think the first place to start, if you just want to hear more about our organization or my department in particular, you can go to headplus.asu.edu, learn more about some of the work that we're doing. We also have a contact form, so if you're looking to partner, you're looking to know more about the degree recommendation engine, you can absolutely go there and find more information or provide your information so we can reach out to you. You can also email me directly at Auryan, A-U-R-Y-A-N, at asu.edu. Happy to take your questions and tell you all more about Dre and figure out how we can start to work together.
Ryan, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you again. Listeners, thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
The Higher Ed Pulse is part of the Enrollify Podcast Network. If you like this podcast, chances are you'll like other Enrollify shows too. Our podcast network is growing by the month, And we've got a plethora of marketing, enrollment, and higher ed technology shows that are jam-packed with stories, ideas, and frameworks, all designed to empower you to be a better higher ed professional. Our show helps higher ed marketers and admission pros find their next big idea and features a selection of the industry's best as your hosts. Learn from Brian Gross, Eddie Francis, Jenny Lee Fowler, and so many of your favorite leaders in higher ed. Enrollify is made possible by Element 451, the next generation AI student engagement platform, helping institutions create meaningful and personalized interactions with students. Learn more at element451.com.